At this time, we'll call the regular county commission meeting to order. Sir, if I have a quorum, consider approval minutes, approval of payrolls.
I'll move.
I'll take it.
All in favor?
Aye.
No ARPA. You can
I have
move
not seen it, and I haven't had a chance to get my minutes ready, so.
our BRO, R&B, BRO, RO 85, invoice 11.
Yeah.
You have that?
I do. Need a signature on it.
Yeah, Gene needs to sign it.
Sign it.
It's, let you look at it, but I'll
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And gentlemen, before we get into here, what he's got to say, just, I'm waiting on some,
You can copy, you need to copy this.
Waynesville School District uses Tyler, and the three ladies use Tyler. Do what Pam does, and then obviously more, we're talking like a $89 million budget, whatever it is, but between the three ladies, they each do a process. They're writing me up something too. I forgot all about them using Tyler. And most of the school systems use Tyler, but they're writing something up as well, because that's all they use, and depend on as far as their bills and their budgets and keeping track of payments going out, checks and all that other stuff. So
Everybody's using Tyler. St. Robert moved to Tyler too, I heard. We got Tyler, right?
Got the ERP. He wasn't on there earlier, so let's see if he had.
Who's that? Oh.
Well, they evidently haven't started the meeting yet, so we reach out to them and make sure they're gonna be on.
We got the senior tax freeze application. I did sign 5 of them. 5, the ones we declined. 5 out of 1,100, I think it was so far. Hmm.
Okay, we have 3 boxes. We have 2 that need review. And rather than go into closed session, I would say if we could possibly get, since it's individuals, maybe we can just get Doug to mute the mics.
Sure.
While you discuss that. That way you don't have to clear the room or anything.
Okay. all of them.
I'll make a motion, we accept them
I'll
all.
second it.
Well, I can make a motion,
And then
you better,
we'll do the other one
yeah.
and on the one that Andy.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We accept it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Pretty amazing. We've only had 5 denials at all.
I think she said it was over.
I thought she told me right at 1,100 now. We had 5 denials out of 1,100. Ooh.
That I just brought you, Dave, we just received that. Just you already beat it.
I have one in my inbox this morning.
Does he even have to pay finance for that stuff? Where it says, it's a Form 11 is supposed to be turned in by July 20th. It could be turned in before then. No, maybe not. I turned mine into you.
Hey, Mark, this is Sheriff Ball with Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Today, we're at the commission meeting. We're hoping you're gonna jump on there with the meeting. So if you get a chance in the next hour or so, I appreciate it. Thank you. Here's stuff. There's a little lightning going on today.
You gotta keep sinking or something. You switching me there?
No, I haven't.
I think Kevin switched around.
Well, you did.
I wanted to. Yeah, you'll start out and then before you know it, you,
Yeah. You're looking over the table.
yeah.
You just had her take that one off, put that one back on.
Go around.
You get it off right now. Excuse me. That's assault on my chief.
Come on, Chief.
On PJ.
Not scared him. Okay. That's Dave, doesn't he?
How's it? How's it? They're all themselves.
He's from Michigan, so I got his time mixed up.
That's right. I'm on board. How do they work with this person?
Hey, Mark, how are you? The sheriff of Pulaski County. Hey, good. Hey, we're at the commission meeting.
Just
We were,
regular
Kim was, had
vacancy.
set up a contact for this
Yeah.
morning for
In
the commission meeting
between
about
the
Iowa.
elections, me.
Uh-huh.
I would say it's a selection by the members of the board.
Dave, Yeah, we're on, there's no one on yet.
It says there's no meeting under that number.
Oh,
So,
can you,
good idea.
I believe it's your meeting. And we log into you. That's what we,
Yeah. You just send the invite. Yeah, that's the meeting number and that's where
Okay.
it feeds in.
all right. Yeah, we use the link that you sent us. Okay. Okay.
You get the email I sent you, that lady with the sign.
No, that's fine. Dave, is there anything else we gotta click on that other one? Waiting to join?
Well,
No, he joined it.
it asked me for the meeting number and the password. I put them in and it
You said that was
says
hard to guide.
we cannot find a meeting matching these
We
details.
put a meeting number and password in and say, good find a meeting. Okay. Yeah, dismiss that, Dave.
Everybody's looking at interpretation. Connectivity.
All right, go back, get out of that and go back to the link from the email.
I can't because I carry this.
They said the price to redo that sign that's out here, still appealing,
Oh, okay.
$520. Ain't bad.
That
Let
might
the
be a
people
problem.
that done the neon stuff, or somebody else.
No, this is the lady, that's what she does, goes around and does signs like that.
I accepted it, that it disappeared.
Yeah, that's not, it's not bad.
Mhm. Well, we're gonna try and get you some.
She's
Yes,
from
Tom.
Chicago Road.
Join meeting now?
She's got a Bachelor of Fine Art and Sculpture out of University of Little Rock. She lives on Chicago Road. Lady,
All right. Now, you see it now? Join now. Come on, mouse.
mouse.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Huh?
The record is that user error or is it? No, it's Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, that's right.
Glad you get it to work. I got a hammer.
Dish, dish.
Just tap on it in the right spot.
He's talking. What you mean?
Hmm.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. See, you did change your glasses. You weren't wearing the same glasses on Friday. No, you were not. You were not wearing. I didn't notice your eyes like Friday like I did today.
To connect to the Jabra Speak 510, go to the Bluetooth menu on your smartphone and select it from the list.
To give you the call-in number?
Oh,
Hello? Hello? Yes, can you hear me? Yes. Sometimes. I would try to make, hopefully you understand me here and talk about. I guess we can type in the chat as well. Yeah, just in the chat. You're there. But
Mark, can you hear us?
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
we can hear you.
Okay.
Mark, the sheriff, Paul. Can you hear me? Hey, what I like, we can go through the quote, but, I would like just touch on some areas, how it's going to, benefit and make things faster, make things better, more, you know, you saw the processes that Pam had to go through before, but how it's gonna simplify stuff to make things, better for, not just the sheriff's office, but the county as well.
Surely here. Right there. So I just a quick introduction to myself, Mark Lovely, on the senior county executive. I vote for Bob will also provide some more details around the processes since we've engaged with you all during the entire process. Understanding your needs, your current situation, so all throughout this process, there was discovery with you all, learning what Pam is going through today. The processes for civil, spending hours. And
Mark, you cut off there for like, 20 seconds.
Maybe we could have him call in and let's go to speakerphone. Call that
Yeah.
number right there.
Mark, how about this? If we give you a number, can you call in?
you will.
573
573
774
774
4715.
573 774
4715.
4715.
We're gonna hang out here. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Bob first.
Okay. Call Bob and then call us.
Connection.
Technology at its finest.
Yep.
Mr. Doyle, is it? Yeah, it's Doyle. Mr. Doyle, you got something? Come on up before we get going over. While we're waiting on this call.
Hi, Roy.
You ain't been nowhere fun with that band on.
I had to get that to get in the door. So, uh, I'm here just kind of talk to Kevin a little bit and maybe him a little bit. First off, Kevin, on your rental bridge down there, painting them graffiti off of there, did you just do that?
Yeah,
Well, it needs done again.
I know.
And I see the guy that needs to go down there and monitor it there too.
We did,
You done a good job. I like seeing that go.
it's,
And
you painting it, what,
oh,
last 2
the
days, a
next
week?
night, but it don't need to be on
No,
there. And another thing I was going to talk about, and this is this Cave Road I'm really interested in because I drive it all the time. Up there at the end of where you guys
mhm.
cleaned that out, that needed to be done, and that's a good job on that. But now we're going to go down to the bridge, and it needs some attention right at the bridge where you turn.
Yeah, about,
That carpenter square is about that square and about 6 foot high. You can't see
yeah.
it. It won't take much to fix it, but it'll take a lot too. It takes time. But just something like that. That's all I was here to talk to you about.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, do you guys have anything scheduled on hot mix this summer? You just going to do any, or do you know any decent jobs?
Well, we've, already done a lot.
Some.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I was just.
yeah, we've done.
Are you
done
talking
quite a
about
bit.
asphalt projects?
Yeah,
or you talking-
yeah, asphalt.
Most of our asphalt projects are over. There's still gonna be some up in Hunter's Point yet. Uh, we've both pretty much spent our asphalt budget.
One load of spending.
Yeah.
$1,200 a load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that guardrail there by Riddle Bridge also. If there's any way, if you guys could spray that and get rid, I don't know if you've got people that can spray
I
it.
drive by it here's what I'm gonna do. Right now, I'm gonna touch it up with the brush tractor where
Yeah.
you can see.
Yeah.
And this winter, when the leaves is gone, both ends of that bridge is gonna get,
Good.
I'm gonna take a chainsaw.
Labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand
you're
that.
gonna notice a difference. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm-
well, I noticed the
Well,
difference at Old Highway and the stop sign there on there. Hell, you can see down
you
there.
can't, yeah.
And you can't keep up. I
No,
know
you
that,
can't.
but I just
But-
wanted to put
No,
that
on the one end of the bridge, there's 3 big sycamores. It's gonna,
big.
they're gonna have to come down because the bigger they get, the worse it's gonna get. So,
But I was
yeah,
just here to touch
Yeah.
base on that.
I see it and
I
it's
know you
getting-
do, but I sometimes you can forget, you know.
Well,
And there's more stuff to do than
around here,
that.
oh, yeah.
But I drive Cave Road. That's important to me. And somebody else will drive another road that'd be important to them.
Yeah.
So
Nope, everything you said,
you got it in your computer.
I do,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm out of the way here.
Well, before it gets important.
Yeah, well, if you give this guy a job, you know, he might be looking for a job, you know, paint all that. Paint it all
Well,
and then put him down there on it.
Well, hey, I'll just,
Inmates I could take down here.
well, well,
Chain gang.
what I wanna do is when we catch the ones doing it, them's the
Oh,
ones I wanna paint it.
Yeah, well, the
What
ones
the
that are
tooth
doing
was.
it, they need to
We
be
do.
fined and then,
DMP does have people for,
Yeah.
for
sorry.
community service, so
Yeah.
that might be something.
Well, it-
Well, I put them in there now because there's chicks and chickens, you know, kind of make it worthwhile. Okay, I'm gonna go. You guys have a good day.
Right, see ya.
Are you there, Mark?
Can you guys hear us better?
Yeah.
A lot better.
Better. And I think I also have Bob. I connected Bob in. So yep, Bob, you there? Yep, I'm here. Okay. All right, I'll kind of go ahead and I guess start over and I'll kind of explain what we learned throughout this whole process of meeting with the sheriff and his team on the civil side. You know, through our discovery and the demonstration of our civil product, it seems the current workflow and process that Pam goes through takes quite a bit of time, a lot of hours spent entering data into spreadsheets. So redundant data entry over and over again. And that's, you know, in order to get cases in and papers served. And then when the papers are served or come back, spending, again, you know, hours entering into different systems or spreadsheets in order to get the papers back to court. So, there's today it seems like the current setup that Pam is using is not as efficient. And what we demonstrated to the county is our solution, which is all in one. It's a complete civil process system that is based on a double a double ledger accounting system is kind of the backbone of the system. So it manages all the fees that you all charge for your different service types. Does all the calculations in the background for receipts. The system also will provide Pam the ability to generate and issue checks out of the system as well, which I believe she does separately today. So really utilizing a single solution where she can effectively and efficiently enter data quickly, generate the papers, get them out to the deputies out in the field to serve, which I believe you all call them road dogs. So if I say road dogs, that's the terminology I've heard. So the overall workflow will increase significantly for Pam to enter cases, track papers, and of course get that return of service back to court. So again, the system will take care of all the accounting for Pam, and she won't have to enter any other spreadsheet. It'll be all in one. So that's kind of what we learned throughout the entire process. Just a lot of manual, redundant data entry that Pam goes through. So again, this system would definitely, increase her productivity and efficiency from start to finish related to civil. So, any questions about that?
No, no.
Okay. Bob, did I miss anything, or I know you provided the demonstration. Is there anything above and beyond that you can provide as well?
No, you really covered it. I mean, like you said, Pam's using Excel spreadsheets today. There's a lot of little things in the way of invoices, receipts, different things like that. The financials are what really concerns me because that's the biggest liability for the sheriff from the civil side. And that's where our system really is a huge advantage because it being an actual accounting system at its core, that's really going to provide a lot of safeguards from that financial liability.
What about assistance with like for audits and stuff like that for that we go through
That's a great question.
regularly?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, so we pass audits with flying colors throughout the entire country. Actually, when county auditors see the system, they recognize really quickly that it's an actual accounting system, and they end up loving it. So, and we assist with any of those audits as well. So if the auditor comes back and says they want to see data in a specific format or anything like that, we go ahead and do that for them so that they can see it exactly the way they need to see it.
Now, you all did assist us with this sheriff ball again. You all did assist us with different people that were using the system, and like Cole County, they quit using it or they went away from it. They didn't like it because they didn't feel they had all the permissions they needed or anything like that with the permissions. And I don't. That's just what they sent back to us. But do you have any? Did they get back with you on any reason why they went away from it, or was because I'm pretty sure the permissions part, if I'm going to be the administrator for it, then permissions would run through me anyway.
That's exactly right. So based on the feedback that we got back from Cole, it definitely sounds like a permissions issue. I don't know who set up their permissions as far as from their side, whether it was their IT or whether it was within the sheriff's department, but the complaints that they came forward with were clearly permissions based, and they shouldn't have run into that at all. So that's just establishing security rights and rules in the system. If you want full admin rights, then you get full admin rights. I mean, that's completely under the county's control. We never step in and say, hey, this is the way you have to use the system. This is the restrictions. They're completely on your side of the house. And then we assist you in setting it up the right way so that where you could use the system the way you need to use it.
And then we can set it up we can set it where Pam she can make deposits into the bank from, instead of manual deposits, they can go through the system for Tyler, or is it still manual?
It's still a manual process as far as the physical deposit itself, but what we automate is the deposit slip and making showing the funds that are available for deposit, setting up any of the financial rules you want set up around those. So, for example, when you make a deposit, if the sheriff's office is also doing disbursements, and I don't recall if you're doing that or if the county's doing that.
We're doing that.
You are doing, okay. So what we could do is we could set up rules around disbursements where those deposits aren't eligible to be dispersed for 30, 60, whatever amount of days to make sure that any checks clear before those funds get dispersed. So there's a lot of different financial levels that we can build in the background.
And what about disbursement back to like the people that, like the companies, the lawyers, the people that pay us to do their papers? We can set up we can set up to redeposit back into their account directly.
You can set up the refunds back to anybody in the system, and then however you want to disperse those funds is entirely up to you.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
I mean, it's,
I don't have any.
Dave, Whitney, you got any
Yeah, the side-
questions?
She's right behind.
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you were in there. You sure? Okay.
And as a side note too, I appreciate the information on Cole County because we're going to have our support reach out to them and find out exactly why that's going on. Because that
Oh,
should not,
shit.
they
You
should
didn't
not
hear
be
that from me.
restricted to that level. We didn't hear it from you.
No, but, you know,
Yeah, good.
I forgot all about, like, most of our schools around here use Tyler too. So,
Yep.
I'll be getting feedback from the schools.
Yeah, I remember Kim reached out to me, and mentioned about Cole, and she told me about the permission issue, and I'm like, it doesn't sound like they made they must have made some decisions at the administrative level over the sheriff's department on who could do what. So anyway,
Okay. I have a question from Doug.
And Doug Fowler, Pulaski Talks, says, question, does it have systems in place to establish and manage internal controls?
I don't know if they can hear
I
you.
couldn't hear the question.
Yeah, we could hear that.
Managers' internal controls, does the system have procedures in place to establish and maintain internal controls?
Such as what type of internal controls are you
To
referring
make sure somebody can't sign and write and sign checks, same person, managers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Like me and Chief go rogue.
yeah, exactly. But for auditing purposes, audit trail, you can see who wrote, signed the checks, make sure the same person did the same.
Yeah, so there is a complete audit trail that's running in the system at all times. And at any point, you can run a very detailed report to show exactly what's on that audit trail. And it shows date, time, who did the entry. It shows what was there before, what has been changed to, and if there's any notes associated with it as well. So that report would clearly show anybody issuing checks to themselves or, anything else. It's actually kind of a cut both ways. It keeps people honest because it's gonna expose any type of illicit behavior going on, but also it shows transparency with honest mistakes. So if you were to mistakenly enter the wrong amount, fix it a minute later, and put a note in there, made a mistake, all of that's going to show up on that report as well.
Dave, you got any? All right, Mark, I think that about does it for us here. Nobody else got any questions? I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much, and let us know if you need anything else or have any other questions.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Wow. So, Jen, we can table it. I can come back here Thursday with what I find out from Waynesville. Oh,
Yeah, holiday.
Remember, you get an extra day off this week.
okay. I do got some ceremonies to go to.
That was Wednesday.
Well, bottom line, I know I've asked y'all for a lot. You all have been good to me with what I've asked for and to, make me do homework to come back with y'all for, the information you need to make a decision. But this system right here, if you just come down and spend a daggone a day in her office with her to see what she does, it would blow your mind. So the bottom line is how we come up with, I'm asking you to pay for it and I pay you back. How do we do that? Well, my ultimate objective is to try and hit that $50,000 threshold that we haven't hit since what? Ron Long.
16, 17.
That also, once we are efficient at that, that means getting more papers to us. And it just having the,
They get 2 other bids.
We already technically used them, so have to. Right.
wait,
We use them and if it's gonna integrate with our current system. But I would say just as a comparison, I think you've already done it. You've gone out there and looked. But I would say just put it all together in one packet and say, you know, we compared these systems to it. This doesn't do.
didn't Kim give
this.
that to you? I thought.
Well, I know we talked about it,
Yeah.
but yeah. I would say
We
that
talked
put it
about
in
it, but-
writing, that way.
Let me find, because I did write something up like that, because that was one of the meetings we came back from, and I talked about talking to Phoenix and, Amigo and Tyler.
Because that way, if an auditor does look at it, you can show you did your due diligence.
Because I put the price comparison between all of the two, because
Not only price, but what they're gonna supply.
are they gonna supply?
The comparison between the different vendors, this one does something that this one doesn't, why you selected.
Well, what they're supplying is the program that does that.
Features.
It doesn't-
The features of the program.
Yeah.
is what it is.
Oh, for in that, okay,
What one offers, what the other one does.
okay. I'll bring this to your house on Thursday, and then you get. I'll go to Red Oak and find Andy, and I'll go to, or Red Wing, and then I'll go to Cave Road and find, Gavin.
He's moving his equipment around with a jet ski right now. Everything's so wet.
Okay.
Talked to a farmer this morning. I said, when are you gonna get your hay done? He goes, my jet ski won't start. Wet.
Can I just make a comment or talk about something while everybody's here? To me, we have 2 departments that are probably the most important. That's our prosecutor and our sheriff. And I think they're both new. They're both doing a great job. They both need money. We're about to lose a prosecutor. We may not be able to hire a prosecutor. I mean, I think we need to start trying to find some money for the prosecutor's office as well. I mean, if he can't increase his salary, he's already laid off one person to try to spread money around. I mean, and if he can't hire a competent prosecutor and keep competent prosecutors, then, we're going to have the sheriff's office wanting charges filed, other places want charges filed. And if we're down a prosecutor and we're down, I mean, for the first 2 years, I know what it's like you don't know if you can replace a tire on a dump truck because you don't have the money. And it's very frustrating to be wanting to do your job and do it the best way you can. And I understand there's limited money and I understand all of this too, but I mean, I seriously think we need to try to find some money for the prosecuting attorney's office as well. I mean, that's just my.
You gotta be able to. Years down the road.
I would agree with that too.
We are short attorneys in this general geographical area.
Right now, yes, but my question is, ongoing in the next 3 years, are we gonna be able to afford to keep?
Well, and that's
You
that's
see what I'm
kind of the
saying?
issue. Every attorney in that office in the 16 years I've practiced law here it's been a wastage for them. We only really had one assistant stay long term. Other than that, the pay is at the point where it's someplace somebody drops by for a minute and moves on and doing something else good.
What I was saying, we do have some money in the general revenue we can use. But my question is, how are we gonna pay for it next year and the year after? Because once that money's gone, it doesn't come back. We gotta live with whatever's coming in. If that becomes tough decision on what you want to do.
Well, I'm looking for it to move again a little bit like I've stayed off in the jail and that. So it's up to vision of law enforcement.
Do we need it? Yes, we need it. We need both sides. We do. The tough part is how you gonna pay for it in the future. But I agree with him, agree with him 100%.
I've got some thoughts about finding candidates to fill those spots. It's really
Difficult.
I posted the job of, 17% more than y'all approved for the job in your budget. And still not getting applicants out of the new law. That's where the pay is in that office.
Former judges, retired judges,
Thank you. Well,
If they come back and
we
practice,
gotta keep paying sheriffs, prosecutor, judge. It takes away from everybody else. It doesn't.
You can do that.
They can do what they can do. Billy said before, and the military.
Yeah, they're always.
Senate Bill 5 or Senate Bill 1, Senate Bill 1. You're gonna be paying more there.
But anyway, that's like I said, that's just my thought for the day.
Always an ongoing issue.
so what you're saying, you want me to hold off on this for a while so we can help the prosecutor?
I'd say if this is a need,
It is a need, but I mean, we both got,
I'd say just like what Gene talked about. I mean, this is something that's a one-time cost. And if you increase the
Yeah.
prosecutor's budget, it's something
It's-
that you have to come up with every
Every
year
year. This
ongoing.
one here is upfront, and after 6,000 a year after this year. But that's not, I mean, it shouldn't be hard to cover, but it could be. If it was like years ago, yes, it'd be tough to cover $6,000. Right now, it's not. The big one would be when you're adding $20,000 or $30,000 more a year ongoing, and up to 2 prosecutors, would be 60,000. It gets tougher. We just have to figure it out. How can we make it work? That's the hardest part, is trying to move stuff around to make it work, because tax dollars coming in, that's what we live by. If we save money, we can use it for things like this. That's what we're using it for. But once we use that, it's gone. So we're back to general revenue taxes. We just don't want to expand outside of our limits.
The only thing that I can add to that is, Pam has been in this position for a long time. So she knows the ins and outs. I've sat there with her. There's probably 3 or 4 different spreadsheets that she fills in. Gene, you're talking about, on into the future. If she retires, the amount of time it would take to train a new person, figure out how many different spreadsheets and different places that they have to go fill.
I was saying this one doesn't bother me. I'm just saying, because he's struggling having prosecutors. His is going to be a tougher challenge than this. This one here is easy. The tough ones, when we start adding more people, higher salaries.
Right.
Then you've got the governor signing bills that mandate what you're gonna pay for somebody more. You know, that's something we can do a lot of things now, and by next year, the governor could sign giving somebody else X amount of dollars, and then we gotta figure out where we're gonna get it from. Even though we're planning, they're just shoving it down to us, and we gotta fit it in.
Right.
It's been the toughest thing in this job for the last 15 years, is every time you get something planned, they send something else down you gotta pay for it. It's in the middle of your budget. I think the prosecutor when I first got here was 91,000.
Nothing back on the marijuana
What are
tax
they
yet?
at now, 153, 160?
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
How did we find out about down here?
What's that?
That state?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't, down here in the new barbecue place,
Oh, yeah.
Sweetwater. You know,
DSS is the only ones that are.
Who handles them?
Division of Senior Services.
Handles the,
handles the,
Marijuana.
where they gotta do the permits.
Well, they're the only ones that are gonna enforce it. I mean, we don't have any jurisdiction over
They're
it.
not otherwise
Yeah.
not complying with the Constitution.
Unless he's credit.
Yeah. Unless.
There's a fence convention.
Yeah.
I had a guy busted, 100 pounds of marijuana coming through town, none of the label. And I sat there scratching my head. The only thing I could charge him with was trafficking because it's over that's the only statute I think still complies with the Constitution because it's over, the only one that didn't have to change to say over whatever the required weight is, 100 grams. Something. I don't remember what the weight is, but Constitution allows up to 3 ounces or something, but the regular possession of drug statute, regular delivery statute never changed. 35, when is it,
35 grams.
Grams. Yeah.
They never changed any of that, so and that's probably unconstitutional to me because you know, the Constitution says 3 ounces, so the only one that didn't need to be changed was the traffic. I think it might be later.
did you read the 3 bills they signed?
Uh-oh.
We still haven't found out what Pulaski County was left out, have we? 17 counties were left out.
No, no one gave us a reason why we were left out.
My driving privilege is suspended as of June 18th.
Oh. Did you get?
And then driving privileges for 30 days. If I don't go to this transfer toll booth and
Said transfer some money.
pay a 35% service fee.
Where's Roger? I get probably 2 or 3 of those a day.
MoDOT.xalni.VIP/pay.
Oh.
I got one here a while back. When I went out to Delaware, I knew I was getting Pennsylvania, and I knew I was getting Maryland. There's 2 of them there. And it still took them 3 months to get it, didn't it? And boy, the trip going out came this week, the trip coming back came the next week. They didn't put it all into one package.
No, this is a,
I know, it's a scam. I got a scam here a while back, Missouri, when I'm like, where the hell is Missouri going with it?
Get out. Dave, if you want to hand them down here, I'll get them signed. Well, yeah, let's kill somebody.
Just take them apart and
Yeah,
shuffle
mix
them
them
up.
all up. Yeah, I've already been warned about that.
So you still have no application?
Yeah, one last guy from this right now. Okay.
Over that, right? Kind of like it wasn't like breathing.
I got a guy part-time in Dept County, so I'm not gonna help out, stand there for a while, full-time guy in, so. Talked about getting a little more money this year, I made a little variance. It was fun. But he's got 12 years of experience. So valuable. And they
You can't come over full time.
Oh, he's over here.
It's crazy though. If you get it. What started all this when the state started giving the public defender a bunch of money, and then all of a sudden it flipped the script real quick. There's another case in the state.
Able to get over here with experience from the public defender's office now.
Every time the state does something like this, it costs them. It does. Our reps at our center used to call us and ask us. They used to call me and ask me, we got this coming across the desk. Are you for or against? And if you're for, why? If you're against, why? Just answer the question. I ain't had a call in 5 years. They don't even call you anymore. They just vote.
I have like representatives.
I wouldn't call them representatives anymore. I just call them voters. To me, you represent something. You're a representative. You're representing.
Sit there.
Go.
Steady.
There you go.
You got your.
I should have on my desk. I should have. Get it all up top. Jason there. Wow. Is that a Bigfoot?
Santa Claus.
Oh.
Bigfoot, yeah. Looks like Bigfoot.
I'm not good.
You know, why is it that every time he comes in, he always wants to announce he's not here?
You can't see him, Daryl.
Hey, I can see you. I know you can.
What you gotta remember is you can ask me to not quote something you say, that camera changes things.
Oh, no, I know. I'm not maybe.
And not being the throw you on the camera does dynamics.
Oh, I know.
Not for the better.
Where did I see that? I was on Thames Lane.
Same thing.
Did they ever get the one that goes down and comes back up over there? Transit.
Trolley.
Transit. To bed.
Yeah,
That one ought to go there soon.
yeah, I think so.
Probably if you get abandoned cars, the trees are growing out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've turned on themes over the weekend. I was like, what?
I do, I
Right there at the intersection of
Yeah.
Show.
some big potholes there, and then it was,
My budget.
I showed the.
it looked good.
Yeah, they did a good job.
If I want, yes.
Then I had to go out to the last night, I was signal out on Thunder.
I can take away the.
Over the track.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He was spiking it.
That's a good idea.
Huh?
He was spiking it.
So you got married Saturday, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
With that,
You got married Saturday, didn't you?
And he took a honeymoon, hadn't taken a day off.
Congratulations.
You've been here for, how long have you been here now? January to now, you've been here.
That's a company man right there.
150, about 165 days, 170 days. How many days off you had?
the county board meeting.
How many days off have you had? How many days off have you had?
I'm sure there's an empty cell down there.
I took off Friday.
Yeah, you had one day off.
You worked on your wedding day?
You got married Saturday.
Saturday.
That was his bachelor's party was
Home by 5 o'clock one
the
day.
day off.
Huh?
You were home by 5 of one day.
That was Thursday, because I'm gonna keep it on.
Yes, right, you posted that. That was the day to remember.
Because the rain came in and made it on.
Don't burn yourself out. It can happen. You won't realize it.
I get some time off in between.
One thing about it, people don't ever stop doing anything bad, and it don't ever stop raining, so we've all got jobs to do.
Katie Cree's taking this job. So I.
So you got 1.5 up there now?
I gotta save up my money.
Yeah, I'm off of this kid.
Yeah.
I think I'm covered.
Let's say you should.
Moving my money
You
around.
haven't been,
I saved 7,000 by the person I laid off even after the raises. The part-time versus the full-time guy gives me the cushion for the rest of the year, and then the other gal not passing the bar is reduced what I had to pay her for a 6-month period by.
right. And so you should have the money in there, at least you're.
Yeah, I'm off of this kid. 75 tomorrow. See if he jumps on for somewhere he's never practiced.
I mean, for new, you can give them the smaller stuff. Kelly,
Yep.
Where's your phone?
Kansas area, Kansas City area.
Okay.
oh, you think you got Palo, you gotta go. Moton. They even got the highway up there, pothole. Drive down the road, there's a big sign where it's potholes ahead. That was on 435, but when they talked about a pothole, it was that deep, that big around the concrete. Yeah. It knock a lung loose, those things are big.
When I leave here today, I need to go see MoDOT, the new Amish people that moved in on,
These signs.
yeah, all about seeing their buggy get, they're not used to them being there.
Yeah.
Boy, they moved
On,
down.
on Old Highway, they bought part of Charlie Bassett's farm there on Creek Road.
Richland got another one too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Two farms out there. I guess somebody about hit them the other day because they were on their way to a baseball game there between the two families.
Oh, it was pretty windy for that nonsense.
Huh?
Oh, it was pretty windy for that nonsense.
There's like 5 or 6 families bought, and they say there's more coming, so I don't know.
And no meeting Thursday.
Courthouse is
Hey,
Thursday. You can have a day off Thursday, okay?
Uh,
We'll give you an extra
I
day.
tend to come in and work those days because it's the only day someone's walking in the office every 10 minutes asking.
They moved in and they went
They can wait.
working nonstop.
They can-
Oh, they're building their place out there now, is that?
So they just put up little portable sheds and they're building and trying to get gardens in and fences up. And,
Well, they don't waste time, that's for sure.
No.
they're, seen one of them coming out of the woods the other day carrying a crosscut saw.
Next week I have a condominium.
Yeah, you're right. When they get the building, they don't stop them.
And built well.
Yeah. I watched the building, garage up there on the mountain on the hill over here. Oh my gosh. Once that concrete got dry enough, I think it was already painted and cars in it within a week. It was,
And next day concrete, and then it was like,
yeah, it was like they planted the seed, watered it, and it grew real quick. Yeah, they don't mess around. They don't.
They did like swarm on, everybody grab a rope, hold the wall. And you're like, whoa.
I'm gonna have to go in.
I see
my
like
neighbors.
40 of them pushing up a barn. That meant it was a 60-foot space. And there was a bunch of them pushing that wall up.
Well, I'm thinking about it. My greater payment, do you know when that's coming out? Do I need to go talk to them about that, or do you?
Was that security?
Yeah,
We should have a date on it.
because it hadn't come out yet. I figured it'd probably come out.
We should have a date.
I keep forgetting to ask about that, or I can walk over and ask them too.
We got it here.
Okay.
Should have it here. It'll be posted on there on a date. I think she's got it on the computer, posted for a date. Any payments we got that come out like road bridge or vehicle or what. It's all in the system. It just tells us when it.
Yep.
Jail paid all that certain days, so you know they gotta be send it. Here's the. How much was it?
105, 104, something like that.
4 years, yeah. 100,000 something years.
Hey, where does our debt service go off of the jail maintenance fund?
In an account down there. It's in an account. We have to keep it in an account for.
Yeah, I understand, but once that payment is reached, where's the debt service go after that?
Then it will go for the maintenance fund for the jail. Way it's designed. It'll be set up for a maintenance fund if you're gonna replace their air conditioning systems or any major, kind of like what we did for the courthouse maintenance. Same thing. The way it's designed.
So that doesn't kick in after it's paid off, or?
You can use it long as you don't go below a payment. You're supposed to keep in one payment in that fund.
2025.
In case we have a disaster here and you don't have the money to pay it, you have to keep one payment in.
2025 calendar year.
Yes.
Yeah. 4 annual payments starting.
$26, wasn't it?
No, I figured we'd do one payment this year. Sure.
March 21 of 2026.
26, that's what I thought. Starts in 26, 27, 28, 29.
Then a final payment in
29.
So I thought 29 is the last payment.
Yeah, right now.
Is it right down there?
now it's 4 annual payments of $113,940,982.
Yeah.
Beginning March 21st of 26, and continuing until March 21 of 20.
Okay. Oh, is that my copy? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Perfect.
I thought it was next year.
I figured I had it budgeted to take one out this year.
You can always pay one. You can always
Split
pay
it up
it.
in semi-annual payments.
You can always.
I think what I'll do is I'll pay off them trucks that Clinton bought.
Mhm.
I'll pay
There
that
you
one
go.
off instead of me. I'll pay that.
Smart move.
Yeah, it's not bad interest.
Yep. I'll go ahead.
Take that interest, now you move it somewhere else.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and I'll just pay that off. I think the next payment's in August or September. And I'll just talk to the bank and just go ahead and pay that off. Because I had that budgeted for this year. I thought I'd have a payment this year, so.
And you could have made the first payment if you wanted to, but you'll pay
That's
the
why-
truck, I'll pay the truck off.
That's why I was asking about when it was coming out. So.
That's all right.
Good morning.
We are not gonna have commission meeting on Thursday, and she's getting me the receipts. She don't have the receipts, so as long as the receipts match this, would y'all be okay with signing off on it today? It's opioid fund and she went to training, so it'll be like food receipts and all kinds of stuff. Otherwise, she'll have to wait a while. But I'll verify the receipts to make sure that all of them just sign anywhere on their orders.
Down here.
Yeah, we'll look here. Alrighty, y'all need anything for me today?
Well, thanks, Mike.
You need to take the red truck with them?
Thank you.
They can use the red truck. We need it. We need it. The red truck sits long, they figured the meeting, they all like come on. They got, I think it was almost a Bromley, I go, it's gonna be a good place to break that. All like, come on, ding, 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 and like. Had been drove and.
Well, I got with, supervisor over, sewer district. Zach.
Zach Shepherd.
To get that, poison, spray that. Gosh.
You got them trees you need to cut down beside the jail.
Yeah, Kevin and I already talked about that.
You gotta get it done. I've been trying for 4 years.
I talked to Kevin on it.
I've got the chainsaw.
So,
It got to where you need a chainsaw down. See, back. Daryl, how long have I tried to get that taken care of?
Have you guys got I assume you've got a
All the
sprayer.
weeds
right?
and down at the jail.
well,
They're
he said
taking
if
care
you
of it.
buy it.
I had a,
They're taking care of it.
I had a community service girl coming over, she's been over there twice out of
Talked to Kevin about
how many days? She hasn't been back.
Sheriff, you mentioned the community service. I want to get you on the record on how that works.
All gravel if you brush
You ain't
off.
using a chain.
I ain't using the chain gang.
Just cut it and spray it.
Explain for the record with his camera running, how you can legitimately use community service sentencing before I have people say that the sheriff is going to use prison. You can do it. You say it on the record with the camera running.
We use community service here at the courthouse, Daryl.
That's what I'm trying to say. I want to get on the record before people start complaining about stuff that you can.
Good idea,
Later.
Community service is ordered therefore by the judge.
Well, the judge.
And BMP calls us.
Yeah.
And asks if I have anything for them to do, I say yes. And then they come down and they report whenever to my dispatch. When they're done, my dispatch will sign off that they've completed that so many hours. And then they're supposed to turn it into the probation.
Now, also, so we involved the commissioners in this. It wasn't that many years ago that you had some community service painters that did the paint that we're seeing right here in this room, right?
Yep.
And I'm seeing the look on your face, and I'll leave that one there.
Hey. There was a bunch of.
That was meant to be encouraging. And
It was-
helpful, not a problem.
There was about 6 painters in jail over here from one painting crew. Talked to the judge, and they got out for community service, so you couldn't pay their. So they painted in here, and I bought them pizza when they were done, and everything got done.
Thank you. In other words, it's not an unusual thing. This is a legitimate thing that's routine.
No, it was the judge signed off on it. You're good.
Fair enough.
And we used them to paint the inside of the courthouse, and I went and ordered pizza for them, and they had pizza, and they were thrilled to death.
Fair enough.
Judge was happy, they were happy, we were happy, everybody's happy.
Fair enough.
So go on that. He said, if we pop it, he would go ahead and bring it.
Pizza, they actually show up.
He's kind of took us on a whole.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Daryl asked me what happened. That's the way I explained it.
Well, you know,
But yeah, that one down there has been going on for
Do we need anything,
a
bro?
while.
Thanks, Sheriff.
no,
I've been trying to get him to take.
I'm gonna talk to you about a camera one of these days, about about all that graffiti at the Riddle Bridge.
Okay,
I wanna set a camera up on that,
okay.
and if we can catch them, then you might get somebody to do some more painting.
No problem.
Have a good day. I'm not motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.